Here we have another song from Miley Cyrus. This one's called Goodbye. It has a lot of similar chords to her other song Seven Things, which you may have seen a video that I did for, in that it uses a lot of open strings and a lot of similar chord shapes moved up and down the neck. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is we're going to put a capo on the 2nd fret. And from then on, even though there's a capo, all of the fret numbers I'll refer to are going to be the actual fret numbers. So not in relation to the capo. Okay, so if I say the 9th fret, I mean the original 9th fret. So the first section, the intro, has only 3 chords, but it does have a specific picking pattern, which is as follows. It's not just strumming. And I know a lot of people would be tempted, especially if you're a beginner or whatever the case may be, to just sort of strum something to get through the intro or to get through, instrumental sections and things like that. But with just a little bit of practice and with the right information, you can do better than that. So let's learn how to do that here. The picking pattern is going to be exactly the same pattern over and over for each chord. So what we're going to do is we're only going to use the highest 4 strings, the high E, high B, G, and D. Okay, the 2 lowest strings aren't going to come into play in the intro. Okay, so the picking pattern is going to be strum all 4 strings, then D, B, G. Strum all 4 strings, D, B, G. Strum, D, B, G. Strum, D, B, G. Okay? So when you have the chords in place, you'll see how that sounds just like what you hear on the recording. The first chord, we're going to go to the 11th fret on the D string with our ring finger. Okay, C sharp. Then the 11th fret on the G string with our pinky, F sharp. Then the highest 2 strings, B and E, will be open. Okay? 11, 11, open, open. Okay? The second chord, all we're going to do, and the reason that we're fingering this the way we're fingering it, which might seem a little awkward as the first chord, but the reason we're going to do that is so that for the next chord, you only have to move one of your fingers. All you're going to do is move your pinky. Okay, and you're going to take your pinky off, and you're going to put your middle finger down on the 10th fret on the G string instead. So we went from to that. Okay, and the B and E stay open again. Then for the next chord, the last chord in the intro, we're going to take our D string and change that to the 9th fret with our index finger. And the G string is going to go back to the 11th fret with our ring finger. 9, 11, and then open, open on the top. Okay, so with those 3 chords we have. Okay, and then you actually just go back to the second chord. And with the picking pattern, strum, D, B, G, strum, D, B, G. We get this slowly. Okay, so in real time, okay, that's the intro. So when we get to the verse, it continues the intro in the first verse. And then eventually, the next chord it changes to is going to be this. Okay, and this is one of the shapes we're going to use in this song a few times. And all it is the standard, what they call power chord shape, or 5th chord. So anyhow, what that means is, on the A string, we're going to use our index finger on the 6th fret, then our our ring finger, 8th fret on the D string, pinky, 8th fret on the G string. 6, 8, 8. And the top 2 strings are open again. Okay? And to finish out the verse, you're going to just take those exact 3 fingers, exactly the positions they're in, and move them each 2 frets lower. So now you'll have 4, 6, 6. Okay? So that ends out the verse. Okay, and then when we get to the chorus, now we're going to take this same fingering that we just slid from here to here. We're going to go all the way up to 9, 11, 11. Okay, 9, 11, 11. We just took this, slid it up to here. Okay, and the other 3 strings are open. Okay, and so the chorus is going to be, I'll play the chorus and then I'll show you what I did. Remember when you danced with me, no music playing. What those chords are first one is up here, then we slide back to where we were, 4, 6, 6. Okay, the third chord is a little bit trickier, but this is how we do it. Keep your pinky where it is, okay, on the 6th fret on the G string. Then take your ring finger, move it down to the low E string on the 6th fret. Okay, so they're the same fret, just pinky on the G on the 6th, ring finger on the low E on the 6th. And your index finger goes 4th fret on the D string. 6, skip the A string, 4, 6. Top 2 strings are open. And the reason you can skip this A string without it sounding like this is because your index finger, the tip of it, will kind of lean against the A string, and your ring finger will lean back, and they'll both be muting that A string. See, the A string is kind of muted. Okay, so we had okay, and to finish the last chord off, one way to make it even easier is to simply lift, just take your ring finger off and now play the A string and don't play the low E string. So we went from to, okay, so and the chorus, after a few repeats of that,